Well, with less than a month before Bandai Card Games Fest, I'll be taking a break from deck profiles and also focusing on EX10. While some players will be attending the event at Dallas, others might be comfortable in their hometown picking up the newest set that same weekend. EX10, or Sinister Order, is a villain set, and with 74 new cards to explore, let's start with the Adventure 1 villains. Pagumon is the new level 2 that your turn, once per turn when your opponent's deck is trashed from, draw 1. Interesting, but also kind of sad considering EX3 Groundmon just got hit. That being said, most Groundmon related cards that trash also rely heavily on Digivolving from Guilmon, and those typically rely on Digimon to supplement them. I'm not sure early on how this will be used yet, but we'll see. Moving to demidevimon, this level 3 has a start of main phase effect, where if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, you trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you gain 1 memory. Interesting, so this is where the Pagumon can gain some advantage. The inheritable is a when attacking once per turn effect, in which you trash the top card of both players' decks. I'm curious to know how a pure mill strategy would work moving forward. A promote up means you trash 2 cards in the first few turns, and then gain 1 memory. But utilizing the Pagumon means now that you're a card ahead in regards to decking up first. Again, in theory. Devimon is the first level 4 to go over, and this Digimon also has a start of main or when Digivolving effect, in which if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards, you trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then if they have 10 or more cards in their trash, you return 1 card with the Fallen Angel or Undead trait from your trash to the hand. This card could target cards like even Myotismon, or you could bring back a different variant of Devimon if you really feel like it. When attacking once per turn, you again trash the top card of both players' decks. A shame it doesn't have a Dark Master's trait though, considering Apocalymon did use Devimon's Deathclaw. After Devimon's defeat, the Digidestin would face off against Myotismon, and this one is interesting. When this card would be played, by deleting one of your Digimon with Myotismon in its text, reduce the play cost by 4. A 3 cost level 5 anyone? On play, and on deletion, one of your purple Digimon gains blocker and retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. Inheritable wise, on deletion you may play 1 purple tamer from your trash, suspended, without paying the cost. Can you say viable targets for Yukio Oikawa or Arukenimon and Mummymon? Overall, Myotismon seems lackluster to me. I wanted something more. But maybe, after his defeat, the VenomMyotismon will be better. The new VenomMyotismon is a green-purple Digimon that has a trash main effect that by deleting one of your level 5 Digimon with Myotismon in its text, play this card with the play cost reduced by 7. So, hear me out. You play Myotismon for 3 memory. Then you pay 5 memory to drop this bad boy by deleting Myotismon to then give this Digimon blocker and retaliation. I guess that's one way you could do it? On play and when Digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then 2 of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until their turn ends. Also, when this Digimon is deleted, you delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Overall, the introductory trashing mechanics are intriguing to me, but the overall mechanics of Myotismon leaves a lot to be desired. And because this video's focus is purely Adventure 1 related, the next video will cover the last member of this with Myotismon. But following VenomMyotismon's defeat, of course the Digidestin had to head back to the digital world to confront one last evil in the form of the Dark Masters and Apocalymon. I had strong hopes that the Dark Masters would mesh with the old support cards, but I was wrong. The overall theme of Dark Masters and Apocalymon take a whole new direction that honestly leaves a lot to be desired. Each Dark Master has a few effects that are the same with each other, albeit some color differences. Number 1. They all have hand main effects, in which if you don't have a Digimon other than Digimon with Dark Masters in their text, you may play this card with a play cost reduced by 5. At the end of turn, you delete this Digimon this effect played, meaning if you have any of the other members out, you can play these level 6s for a cost of 7 overall. Number 2. All turns, this Digimon can only Digivolve into Apocalymon. And number 3. If you have no face-up security card of that Dark Master's color, on deletion you play this Digimon face-up as the bottom security card. Their inheritable also allows you to security. If this card was face-up, you may play 1 level 5 or lower card with the Dark Masters in its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Suddenly, those level 5s from BT15 might be useful. But overall, I get a sense that these Digimon follow similar patterns to Kingdra Seal in that rather than tuck in the breeding, we're utilizing the security. But uniquely, metalseadramon has an on-play when attacking effect, in which one of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers can suspend until their turn ends. With Puppetmon, the on-play and when attacking effect is return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And lastly, Machinedramon has an on-play and when attacking effect that digivolves 2 on 2 of your opponent's Digimon. But Piedmon himself simply deletes one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So now the question, the heck does Apocalymon do? These Dark Masters are all pigeonholed to Apocalymon. It's not like the old variants who simply said, this Digimon can only digivolve into a white Digimon. No, we had to get much more specific after some silly Omnimon Zord shenanigans. With Apocalymon, this Digimon digivolves for 5 from only level 6 Digimon with the Dark Master's trait. No colors, like the previous versions, since that created a lot of headaches. Bright side, this Digimon has 16,000 DP, which threatens some Digimon when attacking a security. When this card would be played, by placing one of each face-up Dark Master trait card with different names from your security stack under this Digimon, you reduce the play cost by 4 for each card placed. And right from the get-go, I honestly feel like this deck is good luck. Trying to get 4 Dark Masters into security is already rough, which means I feel like you're probably constantly passing turn with a bunch of memory. Because at the turn's end, they just go to the bottom of security. On play and when digivolving, you may play one of each Dark Master trait card with different names from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. Then all of your Dark Master trait Digimon gain rush for the turn. At the turn end, delete the Digimon this effect played. This again feels like a rehashed version of Royal Knights or even Demon Lords because Apocalymon seems to be the boss monster. The only downside is if you don't go the route of using the cards from security, your number of rush bodies will only ever be 1. Versus with Apocalymon, if you can tuck 4 unique Dark Master trait Digimon from the security, then you'd be playing Apocalymon for a memory of 1. It honestly feels like a lot of work with a low payout, but there is still one final card to review. Spiral Mountain is a 3-cost white option that while you don't have Spiral Mountain in the battle area, you can ignore this card's color requirement. Main, you draw 2, then place this card into the battle area. End of opponent's turn, you may play 1 face-up Digimon card with the Dark Master's trait from your security stack without paying the cost. At the end of your turn, delete the Digimon this effect played. Luckily, this means you can at least attack with the Dark Master beforehand. The downside? I still feel like I'm missing something. Its security effect allows you to play 1 Digimon card with the Dark Master trait from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to the hand. At the turn end, delete the Digimon this effect played. I now understand why this is a mandatory 4-0 for the deck. For part 1 of EX10 Sinister Order's set review, I focused on adventure-related cards, and while the trashing aspect seems weak, Myotismon equally feels subpar, at least until we get to the Adventure 02 cards in the next video. But Apocalymon also feels kind of slow to me, at least from a first impression. Overall, do you feel like adventure villains will be powerful, and if they aren't, what are they missing that traditional decks have that they don't? Stay tuned, and continue following me on more content this week, because it's my descent into villainy. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.